Welcome to the VIP Ignite podcast, your source for tomorrow's talent today. Hear real-life stories of models, actors, and musicians breaking down barriers, launching careers, and sharing their stories of overcoming obstacles and finding real success. They will activate the winner in you by revealing the path with their best tips and advice.
Hey everyone, my name is Deneen White and I am the host of the VIP Ignite Live podcast. This is a special series of podcasts and interviews that we're doing during quarantine during the coronavirus. The reason that we're doing this special series is for two reasons. First of all, we want to bring inspiration to our listeners. The second reason that we're doing this is we want you to know that now is the time that you should be planning and building your career as an actor, model, or musician. Today, I am so excited to have Sarah Powell on the show. She is coming to us live from Syracuse, New York. Sarah, can you please tell me, how are you keeping yourself occupied during this quarantine time?
Well, I spend a lot of time with my cat, and pretty much the rest of the time I do VIP stuff, and the rest I'm working at a grocery store right now, so I check people out, bag groceries and tell them to stay safe and obsessively clean my conveyor belt.
Oh, well, it must be really nice for them to know that they're in such great hands with someone who's telling them to stay safe, and also that's compulsively cleaning, because I know I've been to the grocery stores and not everyone is as detail oriented as you are when it comes to that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes you got people one after another and it's hard to clean everything, but I try to wipe everything down. And I've wiped the pin pad so many times. At one point, the touch screen stopped working at the end of the day.
Oh my goodness.
I wiped it too.
Now that is a clean touchpad. So thank you for doing that. But let's talk about your part of the VIP Elite Talent Academy. You said we're keeping you pretty busy. So how long ago did you join us?
Probably like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 1.5 or 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. Well, We've been doing pretty much nonstop coaching for that whole time, right?
We have. So that's why I'm kind of like, oh my God, this is so much. I know there's no way I can catch up with everything, but I'm trying to keep up with all the live video Zoom calls as I can. And I'm trying to also go back to the very beginning and try to get the first couple ones, done. Yeah. Sorry, my cat was actually biting me. So.
Oh, bad kitty. I never said that on a podcast before, but there you go. So here's a question for you, Sarah. How do you feel like having your career to focus on right at this time with the VIP Elite Talent Academy? How do you feel like that's helping with your mental health? Because I know a lot of people are going
so much.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person who, if I don't do anything, I really get depressed. I have been dealing with depression since I was in high school, so like 10 plus years. And like sometimes I really if I don't have a motivation to get out of bed, I really would just stay in bed the whole day. And I would just not get out of bed. I would be in my pajamas the whole entire day and get nothing done and feel really bad about myself. And honestly, like before I got the job at the grocery store and before VIP, I was pretty lost. I was feeling it.
Okay.
Right after I stopped working, because I actually have a day job which they dismissed me in the beginning of March, and then I had a night job which is at a bar and in Syracuse. So of course after they stopped closing, they closed the bar down. I can't work there anymore. So for like probably like a week or so, I was like devastated. But now I have something to look forward to, and I'm working. I feel really fulfilled that my days are like I'm spending my days being productive instead of just lying there and not doing anything and feeling bad at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
It's been helping a lot.
That's awesome. I'm glad, because our whole goal here was to make sure that people have a reason to wake up. I know for me, I love the calls because every day in the morning I have to make sure I at least make myself look presentable. I'm not hanging out in my sweatpants. I have to make sure that I'm ready too. I have to have my makeup done, my hair done, because I'm on live calls all day just like everyone else. So I'm glad that it's helping you, because the last thing we want is anyone to feel. There are so many reasons, honestly, to not be happy right now, that I'm glad that we're giving you a reason to get out of bed and be excited about your day.
Yeah, it's been kind of hard after like the initial, oh my god, this is so cool, but it's kind of like, okay, now it's like I really need to push and I need to like put in the work.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of want to just lie there and not do anything, but like it's great to have people who are like keeping you, like honest and keeping you on point, and just having a group of friends who's like very supportive, like let's do all these cool things, and it's been awesome.
Let's talk about the community. You were a part of a Shakespeare play on Zoom, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about how that transpired and your whole experience with doing the play and what it meant to you to be able to be a part of that?
So that happened because Mark Christopher Lawrence gave us a challenge on one of his calls to read a whole play after he has given us points about how to do Shakespeare and that kind of thing. So we all did like Act 3, Scene 2 of Hamlet, and after he gave us pointers and say, okay, now go do a whole entire play. And one of our VIP members, Zuli, she suggested to do Midsummer's Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
So she had some experience before with that play. So I mean, I like, that's like really one of the first time I ever heard of Shakespeare. It was in a strange comic book that people had, like a graphic comic, and that was a story that was featured in that graphic comic with like animals instead of people. It was really odd. But anyway, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm familiar with the stories. Sure, I think the funny one, so let's do it. And I've always wanted to be like part of a play, because like never really got the opportunity to do that. I'm not one of your like theater kids or anything. I'm like kind of actively, well, now it's kind of like dropped the ball because of coronavirus, but I'm like getting involved in the Syracuse community theater group.
Yeah.
So I actually, the bar that I work at is also the person who owns the bar also runs the production company called Breadcrumbs Production. And his name is Tanner. So like we do theater stuff, and we do like play reading group as well. So I was just like, yeah, I want to do more of this stuff. And it's been just so like the people who are in this community are so creative and so supportive, and just like very genuine. So I love that part, and that's why I want to be part of it. And it was like, it was pretty cool. I think I can't believe we actually did it. It took so long, but like we took like 3 days and probably like 2-ish hours of together time to practice it. And of course I practice offline as well.
Yeah, you're definitely one of
pretty much my first part of the week was focused on that. Yeah.
Awesome. So before you got started with this, you knew very little of Shakespeare, and now you can say you're a Shakespearean actress because you performed a whole Shakespearean play. So how does that make you feel? Like, did you imagine like 3 weeks ago that you would be having this conversation and you would say, hey, guess what I did? I put on a Shakespearean play on Zoom.
I don't know. It feels kind of unreal. I don't feel like I'm that qualified because I didn't even memorize the lines. I feel bad for calling myself a Shakespearean actress because of that. But
you performed. Yeah. You performed Shakespeare in a play with a group of people. So you're a Shakespearean actress.
Sure.
No, but how amazing is that? Like, how do you feel like you've accomplished a lot by doing that?
I think I accomplished something that definitely not in my I definitely wouldn't do that myself. So yeah, I think I accomplished a lot. Just getting myself to do something I'm completely not comfortable doing, because like English is not even my first language. So
yeah,
there we go.
And I mean, and the awesome thing
is, like regular English sometimes can be challenging, and I know that like I even have. I mean, even right now, I have problem enunciating my words, so that is definitely a challenge. And having to do like Old English or whatever the correct term is for that type of period of English. So yeah, it's very different, and I'm really happy that I did it.
I'm happy too. Do you feel like this is going to give you a new sense of confidence when Syracuse opens up and you can go be a part of the theater company?
I hope so. I think I need more experience, definitely.
Okay.
I think I still need more practice and training for sure. Yeah.
Well, the good news that I have for you, Sarah, is that because you're a part of the VIP Elite Talent Academy, you're going to have a lot of practice. Because, for instance, this evening at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're having Robert Galinsky, who is 50 Cent's acting coach, do a whole training on how to present a monologue and how to act. So, my friend, sit back because we have a lot more great stuff for you. How about that?
I know. I still have to pick up my monologue. That's one of the problems that I've been like running into. It's like how do I pick one? Or do I just pick one and go with it, or do I have to pick one that's like my type or something? Like that. I'm just like it's kind of lost. I'm kind of need a little bit of nudge here and there.
Would you like a little advice?
Yeah, sure.
What's your favorite movie right now? What movie could you watch over and over and over again that has a female character? Or it doesn't really matter. What's your favorite movie?
That's the hard part. Like a lot of the movies that I've watched, or a lot of like TV shows that I've watched, like I'm non-binary, and like I've been kind of like raised as a girl, so I like look female and like I kind of present female as well, but I'm so new to the like kind of like accepting or kind of like going into the community, being okay with just kind of like in between, which I kind of knew. I've always kind of knew I'm kind of in between, but it's just like I tend to find myself associated more with the male character a lot of the times in movies and TV shows. And
so who's your favorite male character?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite male character then? What movie, like what movie do you watch on repeat because you love one particular character, male or female? It doesn't matter.
Oh God. I don't watch a lot of TV or a lot of movies, but like I can tell you the one that I watched recently. I don't think anybody's gonna know this, but
it doesn't matter. What is it?
It's called The Untamed.
Okay.
It's a Chinese production. We've talked about this one before.
Oh, okay.
So it's based on this, I guess, like comic. No, not comic. Like some like web comic. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's set in like ancient China.
Okay.
I know, it's crazy. And about like these two men and their kind of like their relationship. And I told you about how like people in China dare to make this a live show, and like people loved it. Yeah, it's that one. It's like they call The Untamed, and I watched it like 2 or 3 times, and it's like 50 series long. It's really crazy.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you go find a transcript of one of the episodes that you really enjoyed the most, and during one of those episodes, I'm sure one of the characters that you admire so much did a monologue, whether it's a 1-minute monologue. So why don't you do this? Why don't you go find one of them? Obviously, for us to understand, you have to translate it into English, but why don't you do that? Why don't you go to your favorite show and whichever character it is, translate one of their monologues and then use that as your monologue, because since it means something to you and it's so powerful to you, it'll come off that way to your audience. And the cool thing is that a lot of people here probably won't know it. So no matter how you perform it, it's going to be amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Do that.
That's a good idea. I'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is the thing that most people don't realize is that when you're performing a monologue, it doesn't matter if it's a male, if you're a female or a male doing a female or a male role. It's the way that you present it. Mm-hmm. And if you can present it with enthusiasm and with the inflection and with the emotions that are necessary, then it's going to be phenomenal. So that's what I want you to do. Now you've gotten homework on the podcast.
Yes. Love it.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait for you to do that. And I have a question for you. Can I give you a little more of a challenge?
Yeah, I love
You're like, I
challenge.
don't know if I can handle it anymore. I know you're working tomorrow, but are you planning on being on the Variety Hour at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
Yes, I do plan on attending it. Yes.
Okay, well, why don't you work on that and then present that tomorrow? It'll be our little secret just between us.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
Okay?
I'll try my best. Okay. I have another monologue somewhere in my back pocket. I
Okay.
can polish that one up and present that one instead.
Okay.
Because it'll probably take me a while to dig out, like my favorite one
Okay.
between today and tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. And you have to work. So I've given you very little notice. So why don't you do that then? Pull that other one out of your back pocket. But in the meantime, be looking for that other one, because
Mhm.
that'll be the one that monologue will be the one that pushes you over the edge. Because it's
Cool.
going to mean so much to you and you're going to be so passionate about it that people are not going to be able to not react, because that's going to be your reaction.
Awesome.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
Awesome. See, on the VIP Ignite Live podcast, you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get coaching, you're going to get inspiration, you're going to get everything. So, Sarah, what has been your favorite part so far about being part of our community?
I really like how nice people are with each other.
Okay.
And
Has that made a difference too?
I find people are genuine. They're not, they're not trying to you get to buy something, and that they're not trying to say one thing and mean the other way. I hate that kind of stuff. So I really like that people are genuine.
Well, what you see is what you get. Alicia and I don't know any other way to be. So if anyone's looking for us to be anything else, sorry, we're just who we are. Awesome. Cool. So have you had a favorite coaching session thus far in the VIP Elite Talent Academy? I know we've thrown a lot of stuff at you and you've completed so many challenges, but who's been your favorite coach so far?
I'll have to say Jim Bensing's.
Okay.
Because I learned, the topic that he talks about are something that I'm very interested in, and I've been kind of like doing it by myself for a while and never really get to see what's like formally, I suppose. So yeah, I really like his coaching sessions.
Awesome.
And I also like Phil's, even just a little bit that I got to hear yesterday. It was very inspirational.
Awesome. Well, in case anyone doesn't know who Phil and Jim are, Jim Bensing is the head of casting for Estee Lauder. He is one of the biggest casting directors in New York City for beauty and for fashion. And he actually worked directly with Anna Wintour. So he's a pretty big deal. And then the other person that you mentioned is Phil Sullivan. He is a top male model in the United States. He's been in Vogue Italia. He's been the face of Nautica, of Banana Republic. So you're learning, because I know that one of your biggest aspirations is to be a model. So you're learning tips from people that are either currently working and successful in the industry in the modeling field, or you're learning from people that are casting the models. How mind-blowing is that for you?
Pretty crazy. Yeah. I can't imagine like being able to just talk to Jim Bensing and like see him like twice a week and that kind of stuff. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, that is awesome. So what has been your favorite challenge that we've presented to you so far?
Oh, there's so many that I haven't done. Honestly, I really do enjoy the one that Mark Christopher Lawrence gave out. Those like Shakespeare challenges. It's definitely not something I would do, but I feel like I was kind of like rehearsing it, and I was on the phone with my friend, and he said that every single time I say it, like better, I sound better, and that's like really encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
And so that's one of them, and another one is just I spend a lot of time going on like Pinterest and like looking through magazines, just kind of looking for, trying to know the different photographers out there and the different style of, I guess, like modeling that there is, and looking for stuff that I can see myself doing. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm still sitting here trying to process the fact that the first challenge that you mentioned was the Shakespeare challenge, but That just makes my English major heart just so happy. But I love this. I love that you're being pushed out of your box, but you're also kind of being challenged to do research on those things that you already knew you loved. So not only are you expanding your horizons, but you're digging deeper into the things that you already love. So I think that's pretty amazing.
Oh.
So one more question I have for you. Are
Mhm.
you happy that you decided to be a part of the VIP Elite Talent Academy?
I'm pretty happy. Yeah.
You're pretty happy? Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like I still feel like I'm like at the edge of a cliff about to jump off of it, but
It's not a bad cliff to jump off of, and don't worry.
it's not, and it's not like I haven't been skydiving before, but I will imagine that's kind of how it feels like.
Yeah, the adrenaline rush of just everything you're learning all at once. It's like, where do I look? What do I do next? Woo! I'm just you because the thing is with Sarah, I'm getting excited too. The thing is, Sarah, that you literally dove in the deep end. You didn't stick your toe in and say, okay, well, let me try one. You've been on as many coaching calls as your schedule will allow, and you've been very proactive. The one thing that I ask every person who becomes a part of our program is, are you willing to work hard? And you're working. Don't you even have spreadsheets, or you're getting ready to like make spreadsheets? You're one of the hardest.
I actually I mean, if I would share my screen right now, there is actually like, if you look at my screen, let me show you.
I'm sure you're more organized. I may have to take some organizational tips from you.
So,
oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah, this is a spreadsheet of agencies that I am looking into that Jim has mentioned that they do look at petite models. I'm going to talk on myself short. Okay.
I'm so proud of you for that, just for the record.
So there's this, and then I'm also like, in the background, I'll have my, can you see this? Oh, I have to
I can see your screen.
So you can see screen. There we go. That's better. This one is my resume, and I'm like, I have some older stuff here, but I have to like add more here, all the other masterclass that I have taken so far. So I'll definitely work on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have about 10 for the last week, so I mean, you have a lot there. Sarah, that's just awesome.
Thinking, like, how to put it in, and like I have killed a lot of my tabs, but I just like I have just like, this is my email, and just look at all these emails.
Deneen White.
Yeah, it's just all that stuff, and
wow, that's awesome. No, I'm really proud of you for the way that you dove in, because again, so many times people tell me, oh, I want to be successful, I want this and I want that. I'm like, okay, that's great. Are you willing to do the work? And they're like, but you definitely are someone who's been doing the work. And I've seen growth in you too. I remember the first time I talked to you, like right after you joined, you were like a little more reserved. I feel like you are really growing a lot. You've grown a lot over the past 2 weeks, and I can't wait to see what happens as we go forward.
Oh, really? Okay. Sometimes it's hard to like, I have came a long way, and it just kind of like, I'm the type of person who kind of like look forwards and don't look back. So sometimes it's like, okay, like kind of look back a little. Okay, I did all that, and kind of just like acknowledge that like I have accomplished these things.
Yeah, you've definitely accomplished.
That's like,
you've accomplished a lot, and my job as a coach is to see those things. My job is to not only keep pushing you forward, but also help you recognize how far forward you've moved. So thank you for allowing me to do that for you today. You have no idea how excited I am for your future.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, Sarah,
I'm so happy that like there are people who believe in me, because like, I mean, like I have a pretty traditional family, and I was kind of, for one reason or another, been pushed in not the creative realm is not one that is celebrated in our community. It's kind of, especially if you come from a really traditional family like mine did. So it's kind of like, it's great to hear that somebody believes that, like I can do this, not just little voice inside of my head or something.
Yeah. No, I'll be a very, very, very loud voice in your head if you want me to be, because I truly believe that you can do this, because you're taking it seriously. And one of the things that people have to understand is, yes, you have to perfect your craft, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. And you, in less than 2 weeks, you performed a Shakespeare play with other members of the VIP Elite Talent Academy. Like, let's wrap our head around this for a second before we even look at all the other things. So you've made tremendous strides, and I just want you to know that you're being noticed. And I want to thank you again during this time where there are so many people that are kind of taking their foot off the gas pedal. They're like, okay, you know what? When this is over, I'll start doing X, Y, Z. You're not one of those people. You're now a fearless rebel. You are someone who is in momentum. In a time when the world is shrinking back, you're pushing forward. And that means that when the world opens up again, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of those people that are sitting back waiting for the world to open. So for that, I thank you, because it's people like you that inspire me to want to keep challenging you. So thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this podcast with me. It really means a lot that you were willing to share your story with me and my audience. And I can't wait for us to talk to you again in a couple of months and see even how much further you've gone.
Oh, that is so nice.
So awesome. So thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day and stay safe and keep the city of Syracuse safe for me, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sarah. Have a fantastic day.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the VIP Ignite podcast. For free resources and to learn more about how to become a model, actor, or musician, please head over to ammsociety.com. And if you loved this episode, please head over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. It is very much appreciated. Thank you.